We speak to Ayanda Kota, founding member of the Unemployed People's Movement, on the economic impact of the unemployment rate on younger people. Ayanda, good evening and thank you very much for your time. You know, we often hear of the high cost of youth unemployment, but perhaps on a more surface level. But you work closely with the youth. Just take us through the real daily impact of high levels of youth unemployment.
Good evening to you, Nomfundo, and good evening to SABC viewers at home. The two issues about unemployment in this country, one would be that it's a structural one. Pre-1994, it was based or rooted in the exclusion of black people, in particular young black people. That was pre-1994. Then after the current political dispensation, which is post-1994, we then saw the integration of our economy into world economy, meaning we followed a neoliberal route, which you saw and witnessed in the liberalization of the trade that led to dissemination of jobs in this country. One example would be the clothing and textile industry that was in the Western Cape, where thousands of jobs were lost. Another example could be the automation in agriculture, the automation in mining, where thousands of jobs were also lost due to this automation. So I think that's what we are experiencing. Where the jobs have really grown, we have witnessed the growth of jobs in the finance sector. We have also witnessed high levels of precarious work, meaning people that their rights as employees are delinked from them. They have no rights. So that's why I'm saying it is structural. So there's no close, there's no easy, there's no parcel. If you are serious about addressing the unemployment in this country, which is a ticking time bomb, then you need a policy shift. You need an economy that could be job absorbing, not the current model of economy. And one of the issues that we have been putting forward as the cry of the excluded was the climate jobs. Currently in this country, the research has shown us that more than 40% of the clean water, potable water, is wasted. And what we have been advancing is that there you can train young people and you can save a lot of water if you give them skills. But also still within the politics of water, there's a lot of vegetation alienation plant, which disrupt the water tables and consume a lot of water. And we are also saying that you can also absorb a lot of young people. You train them, you give them the skills. So in water alone, in that way, there's also a climate adaptation and climate mitigation. But the last point that I want to make still on climate jobs, which I think it's important. There's a backlog in housing in all municipalities in this country. If you are skilled young people and completely strip off the tender system, and government takes over, you've got young people building housing. Even there, you can create a lot of jobs. But
the EPWP, Public Works, apologies for interjecting there, but one would say that Public Works through the EPWP program, at the very least, they are assisting in that respect, that if we're looking there for those in construction or anything of that nature, you do have the EPWP, which assists with job creation. It's actually skilling them, but nevertheless, there is a stipend there. So wouldn't you say there is some sort of an effort to deal with the unemployment rate?
Thus, I was talking about the policy shift, because what you witness with the EPWP, it's a drop in an ocean. It's not job intensive driven. It's also served as a tantalizer to young people that something could be done. But again, allow me to make this point, right? Currently, we are leading a campaign as the Cry of the Excluded and the Unemployed People's Movement. We are leading a campaign against austerity. There's a signature campaign where we'll be taking these signatures next year and presenting it to Parliament. But we are saying also, if you were to get rid of these neoliberal policies of the government in terms of austerity, you can employ more nurses, thousands. You can employ thousands of teachers. You can employ thousands of doctors. There's a lot of jobs that you can also open there. Let me make an example. The health sector currently in the recent budget, we witnessed a budget cut of 6%. Because of the austerity measures, meaning the health crisis and the collapse of health that you are witnessing, it's going to continue unabated. And we are saying it's because of the austerity programs of the government. That's one example. But we are saying if you were to get rid of these austerity programs, neoliberal policies of the government, and spend more money on the public sector, education, health, housing, etc., that's where you could really create jobs for young people in this country and also skill young people in this country. So it has to be driven. It has to be driven by the government. We have no shame in saying that. It has to be driven by the government, but unfortunately, our government is not committed. There's no political will. You just see a government that is committed to austerity. You just see a government that is committed to these neoliberal policies.
But I'm sure in many instances you've heard the finance minister that when people say austerity, he says, in fact, our budget is always pro-poor. There's a lot spent, like there's a lot of spent here for all of the social instruments of the country. So in their case, or at least from where they stand, they constantly say that their budget is mostly pro-poor. But what I want to touch on now is just the mindset of young people. You work closely with them. Do you see a mindset shift to perhaps skilling for demand? Because a number of people keep saying that we need to be fit for purpose now. We cannot constantly be pushing younger people to go and get degrees that really might not see them getting employed. But perhaps we need to see or have people go to train and be artisans, your boiler makers, your carpenters, because these are the type of skills we need on a daily if I need somebody to come and assist and build or renovate my kitchen. Are you seeing that mindset shift where now you've got young people that are battle ready and saying perhaps we need to do away with the notion of degrees being the only way?
Well, that's precisely the point that I've been making in saying that's what the climate jobs is talking about. Thus, I made an example about the water, the alien plants that disrupt your water tables. I made a point about the 40% of the clean water that is being wasted in this country, and we are saying you can employ young people there. As far as the shifting of the mindset of young people, I think there has to be. I don't want us to shift the blame to young people. Young people in this country has been bastardized, and they continue to be bastardized as lazy, who have no committed, who are expecting a lot from government. So we have witnessed a lot of bastardization of young people. But what we are saying, we are where we are because of the role of young people that have played in this, the role that they have played in the liberation struggle. Whether you talk about the 1976 generations of the Black consciousness movement, but young people have played a significant role. If it was not because of young people, we wouldn't be enjoying what we are enjoying, the political freedom that we are having in this country. So I am saying now, the government has to show the commitment. The government has to demonstrate the political will to say we are committed, we are so committed in addressing the structural problems of the unemployment in this country. And stop shifting the blame to say, no, it is young people.
No,
So I'm standing here in defense of the young people because I think they've really been bastardized.
No, honestly, the high unemployment levels are untenable at this point. So I suppose, indeed, they must show greater effort to decrease these numbers. But thank you very much for your time this evening. That's Ayanda Kota. He is the founding member of the Unemployed People's Movement.